Hey guys, we're live on the moon. And I think that we have a very unusual uh, spaceport here. If you recall yesterday, I was showing you a thing I call Crystal Lake. This is Crystal Lake. And I've taken about 7 minutes of this picture and run it through Registack, so it should precede this video, the short segment, and end this short segment. I want to bring to your attention some interesting things. First of all, I said yesterday that these I thought were too square to be natural, and I think that they're buildings, maybe hangars. Uh, the other thing that you'll note, these shadows under, this is clearly a crater, and this is clearly a crater. But there appears to be buildings right here as well. Yesterday I showed you this ramp that went up to this other crater, and you can clearly see the shadow beneath that ramp. And what's interesting is right now, yesterday we didn't see it, but it appears that there's something positioned over that ramp and casting shadows on that ramp, and they look like, I don't know what they are, machinery of some kind, whatever. The other interesting thing that you'll see when the video comes out, the image, you'll see outbuildings over here, 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 here. It looks to be like a city. I would equate it to if you were looking from space at New York City, you'd see a lot of buildings sticking up in the air, kind of little square things. I think that's what we're looking at here. I think this is some kind of a moon city. I know it's jumping in and out of focus, but that's why I took that 8 or 9 minute video of this, and I hope to make a good high resolution picture of it to where you can see this city in clarity. The other thing I wanted to bring out that we didn't see before was there's a series of craters that go back. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that go back. And the other thing is in this Crystal Lake there, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimples. I'm not sure if they're craters or not, but just some strange stuff, guys, and you can see it weaving in and out. I'm still waiting for the moon to settle down to where I can give you a good exploratory of it, but as you can see, it's jumping in and out of focus. And what I do with Registack is I take a long video without my cursor in it, and then I, like 8 or 9 minutes, then I roll that into a video studio, and I create a uncompressed, that's the wind's blowing, an uncompressed AVI file of the same resolution, width, and height as my screen. I input that into Registack 6. Then I pick key points like that crater right there, that crater right there, that crater right there, 3, 4, 5, 6 key points. Then Registack runs it through and creates TIFF files, picture files of it. I ran it through about 6 stacks, and then it generates wavelets with Gaussian filters, and I pick the best combination, and bammo, I have a high resolution picture. I'm not going to show you how to do that. I don't think that you guys are interested in me showing you how to do that kind of stuff, but you are interested in the results, and the results will precede and end this segment, after which I'll do an exploratory of the moon when it settles down a little bit, and I might end up on Mars. Anyhow, that's pretty cool stuff. Moon base, spaceport, city, outbuildings all over the place. They're square, guys. They're not round. These are buildings. These are structures. These are structures. Look at my high resolution picture. You'll see they're all square structures. Structures out the butt. We got us a city, guys. Talk at you in a bit. Okay, guys, it's about 7 minutes after 5, and I'm going to work my way around the moon here. I showed you this city. I really think it is a city of sorts. We've got too many square and rectangular structures to be natural. I think this is fascinating. I'm learning more things about the moon and also about how to take high resolution pictures. You'll see me doing more of that as we have problems with waviness and things, and if I basically see something that is really interesting, I will learn how to take a picture of it and then show it to you on the back end and the front end of the segment. This moon came up yellowish, and it's now turning whitish, and it's still not perfect for photography, but I'm of a mind that it's not going to get too much better. You can see we're on the shadow line. Look at that really weird, see that kind of curlicue thing? Looks like a whale, doesn't it? Look like a whale? I know it's not a whale, but it looks like a whale. I was watching with interest Henning's video. He finally got his optics to work on a weather bound moon. The moon was just terrible. Of course, it was terrible here too. But he's having the same problem I am, and that is focusing. When you get these higher resolutions, it's harder to hone in on the focus. I have ordered a 10-to-1 focuser that's going to come in on Monday, and it'll be really interesting to see Monday evening if I can get, look how this thing slithers down. Let's just sit on that for a minute. That is really fascinating. I'm going to get this focuser in, and I think I'll be able to fine-tune the focus. I won't be able to take care of the waviness and the atmospheric aberrations. Let me go down a little bit further. Look at that. It's a slither of a moon. You know, Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets is coming up, and they used to go up. It was very important to time all this, because the new moon, if you take a look at the new moon, it's completely black, and then you have a slither. I mean, a slither, just like, let me go back down, just like you see here. I'm in contact with a pastor that watches my videos, Pastor Gray, and he wants me to take a picture of the Feast of Trumpets when it first slithers out, and I'm going to try. It'll be hard because of the competing sun. But the priests back in Christ's time, they used to go to, they followed these feasts pretty close. Let me see if I can adjust the camera control on this and knock it down just a dab. That's a little bit better. They used to look for the slither of a moon, which marked the feast days, and they would go up on top of the tabernacle and basically like early astronomers just kind of look. See, I dropped the exposure down. Look at the moon for the first signs of the slither, and that would be that would mark the feast day. And when they saw it, then they would let the people know, and then they would do their thing. And I would think, if what I think is true, the pastor's looking for the rapture to occur. It might. That way, that would be wonderful. I don't think it will, but I mean, if it does, that would be. I'm good to go. I'm out of here. But I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a little bit later. But this is going to be a very important slither of a moon on the 28th and 29th of this month. And that is the Feast of Trumpets, and that is when I believe, in my mind, in my studies, isn't that beautiful? Just absolutely beautiful. Let me turn up the saturation a little bit, put a little color in it, just a little. I think that Revelation 12 will be fulfilled in the constellation Leo, which at my longitude, latitude, will be coming up with the sun. The sun will be at the chest, and the 12 stars with the comet Ellen in the tiara, followed by Saturn and Venus in the bosom, and at the feet, the moon. And isn't that beautiful? Look at these little craters just pockmarked all over the place. It's really beautiful. You don't see the color that you do on a full moon because of just the way, the nature of the light, the way it's hitting it, but it's still beautiful. So it's interesting that that constellation in the sky at the end of this month, in a short period of time, is going to fulfill that important prophecy, I believe. And I think it's going to be the beginning of the trumpet judgments, but it might not be. If it's not, I know it has major significance. Look, let's just sit on this a minute. That is just, look at these. That is just really beautiful. And the pastor thinks that the rapture might be occurring at that point. And like I said before, I am absolutely good to go. But I think the rapture is going to have to occur after the abomination of desolation goes up in the temple, which is in 2 Thessalonians. But we'll see. Isn't that beautiful? You got the coloration, you got the detail. See, it paid to wait a while. I've been on this moon for 2 hours. See the craters. Let's go down and look at the slither again. I've never seen that before, and with this camera you can see it. Slither of a moon. There's a little light right there too. Amazing. That slither will give you an idea of what the priests used to look for back in the day when they didn't even have telescopes. They just had their eyes peeled on that moon. And Let's see if we can do something with this image, because I really think this is pretty remarkable. I'm going to change the gamma. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave the gamma alone. I'm going to go to the camera control and turn the exposure up. There you go. And that's pretty good. See, at the shadow line, you're always going to, it'll always bring out the detail. It'll always bring out the detail. And here's another Mar, a C, which I think at one time was liquid crystal, liquid whatever, and it hardened. And I showed you that crater yesterday, half in and half out of Crystal Lake. And that's why I believe all that's true. Let's go to camera control again and turn it down just a dab. Brings out some of the line detail. See the line detail? I believe that those are all under the surface of the sea, and we can see right through it. That's old Bill's opinion. It's nobody's but his. I have more opinions, and Carter's got little liver pills, but they're very common sense. Now look at this. Isn't that unusual? We got us a crater, and we got like a fracture. Doesn't that look like a fracture? I don't think that's man-made. I think that's a geological fracture of sorts on a mountain range with a deep crater. That's a hornet's nest crater, guys, and another one with a smaller hornet's nest crater. Beautiful stuff. See, now you're seeing some detail of the northern, actually the southern part of the moon that you never, it's always bright and it's hard to see. But let's turn the exposure down a little bit, because see, it's kind of bright right there. If I turn the exposure down, it'll bring out some of that detail. See? And if you look real close right there, that's our runway that I was talking about before. So this is all right below the runway. Don't you feel like a Columbus exploring new horizons? I think this is oh so much fun. And for me, relaxing, to come out here in the middle of the night, smoke my pipe, drink my coffee, and just have a jolly good time with this telescope and sharing it with you. I feel like an explorer. Turn the exposure down a bit. An explorer on another world. Every time I look at the moon, it's a new thing. See, that looks like it's all crystal or something. The scientists are probably going to say, well, that's just sand. Well, it's sand that you can see through then. I don't know what it is. I just know I'm telling you what I think and what I feel. If I see that the moon's tilting, I'll tell you. And then when I figure out that it's supposed to tilt, I'll tell you that too. I'm learning. Now, isn't this is another beautiful. Let's work with this picture too. Let's work with the saturation. I'm going to turn the saturation. I'll leave it alone. The gamma. Work with the gamma. Too much. one of the problems we have when we're working with images like this, it's not as bright, so you don't have as much to work with. You know, when it's real bright, you have full range of your controls. Right now my brightness is 0, my gain is 0, my camera control is almost 0. I mean, everything is just in such a tight margin. You got mountain range there, you got a double crater there with a connecting deal between, and kind of you got the sea, and then you're going into the lowlands, and then the mountains start to come up, and then you got the mountain range over here. And now we're getting into our base, and you can actually see how the sun is changing, and see this. You can see the shadows now creeping across that. See that platform, the ramp? Now the shadow's completely enveloping the ramp, and if you took a look at that picture I did yesterday, you can see that looked pretty open. And at this angle, you can see, even right now, you can see square buildings, rectangular buildings, structures. See the rectangular buildings right there, there. Rectangular, square. This is definitely a moon city, guys. A moon city. Some kind of hangar. Different structures. And then just look, that's like an L-shaped structure, a rectangular structure, squared. I believe these are all, this is a moon base. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to go to Mars. Mars should be up there by the moon. I did a 3-star alignment with this thing. Now what you do when you turn it on, you say align, and then you pick one star in your eyepiece and you center it. It doesn't matter which one, just pick a bright star. Then over here you pick another star and you center it. Then you pick another star and you center it, and you hit boom, and it says I'm aligned, and then you can go anywhere you want. And then I wanted to go to the moon, and I came right down to the moon. Well, we're going to go to Mars, and if it doesn't come beam right on in the middle, okay, I'll get it right on in the middle, and then we'll show you Mars again. I did the other night. It was at the end of a long video. The video was over an hour long. This one won't be as long, so maybe those of you who didn't see it will be able to see it again. I saw the polar cap on Mars the other day. Let's see if we can see it this time. So what I do on this is I hit the planet button, and then I get Mars, and then I hit enter, and it's going to start moving. And there it goes, it's moving. Okay. I shall find Mars. It's probably right at the periphery, and restart this thing. Okay guys, that's Mars. Not too much to look at tonight. It's a little dimmer, and it's not as pronounced red as we saw the other night. Let me try to put on that Barlow and see if we can bring out, see if we can see that polar cap. Hang with me just a minute. I'm going to try that Barlow, guys. Well, guys, I tried to put the Barlow on there, but I had well, I just couldn't do it. I'm a newbie. I'm going to have to get smarter with the Barlow and try to figure it out. The problem is that when you center that, like Mars, on this little thing here, then you put the Barlow on and it's so many times closer, and then it could be over here and you can't see it. Let me explain something. When you're using lenses and you're close to the moon, you can see a light up here or a light up there, and you know which way to go. But with this camera set up, you got to be beat on or you're not going to go anywhere. To finish this thing up, I'm going to go back and just see if we can see the moon base and see what it looks like right now. And there it is. I tell you what's interesting, you can tell in the, like right now it's 6:07, and you can see that the shadow line has crept into the shallows of this lake. And you can again clearly see these outbuildings, these square buildings, and I think this is the city. I really do. Okay, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. I have. It's been a good session. I'll put my moon base at the back end of this as well, so you can see it. If you're into astronomy and you're running into some foul weather, do yourself a favor and take some video and use AVISTACK and make some high-resolution pictures. It makes it a lot more fun. Have a good weekend and clear skies, guys.